If I disappear after this video, just remember, it all started with one click on the dark web. Alright, so I know this is gonna sound completely insane, but you ever been so bored you start clicking around the dark corners of the internet? Like, the real dark corners? Not just weird forums or shady downloads, but the dark web, the part they say the government watches more closely than your phone calls. And this all happened 3 weeks ago. I was in this Discord group where we dared each other to explore hidden marketplaces, random .onion sites, creepy surveillance feeds, dumb stuff. Until one night, I clicked on a link with no name, just coordinates, a string of numbers and letters, and a thumbnail image. It was blurry, but it looked like a satellite image of Area 51. Now, I'm no hacker or anything, but I've been around long enough to know when something's not supposed to be seen. The site loaded slowly, like whatever server it was on hadn't been used in years. Black background, blood red text, no menu, just one message. Entry sequence initiated, code lockdown, override, P triangle red. Then a video started playing. No controls, no title, just static, until a hallway came into view. A sterile, underground corridor, completely silent. But here's the thing, it was filmed from inside, like someone was walking the halls of Area 51 with a body cam. I was hooked. It looked too real. The quality was rough, but it felt authentic. The person filming was breathing hard. You could hear it muffled behind a mask or helmet. They passed locked doors labeled BIOEX and Phase 3 COGNITION. Then, this part gave me chills. They whispered, Specimen 7 breached containment. The hallway lights flickered. The screen glitched. Then the camera turned a corner, and that's when I saw it. Something hunched, pale, almost skeletal, dragging itself across the floor like it had no bones in its arms. It wasn't like an alien from movies, no big head or green skin. This looked human, but wrong. Long torso, jaw dislocated, and the eyes, jet black. I paused the video. My heart was racing. I tried looking up the video URL on every dark web thread I knew. Nothing, no cache, no footprint, like it never existed. Except, when I played it again, there was a new message at the bottom of the screen. You are being observed. I slammed my laptop shut. That's when stuff started getting weird in real life. My phone buzzed constantly, no caller ID. My Wi-Fi router started blinking red even when I unplugged it. One night, Alexa said, "Welcome back, Doctor, Holloway," and I never said that name. Then, my laptop turned itself on. The same video played, but now the figure in the footage turned directly toward the camera and whispered, "You clicked it. You opened it." I yanked the power cord, but the screen stayed on. I contacted a friend who's into cybersecurity. He came over, scanned my system, said my laptop had been routed through over 40 proxies and backdoors, tied to a server registered to, get this, Groom Lake, Nevada. That's the real location of Area 51. He told me to stop digging, said some links are traps. Not just data traps, but psychological ones. Things you see that make you go insane. Things not meant for the human brain, but I couldn't stop. I kept seeing it in my dreams. That hallway, that thing. Against my better judgment, I logged in again. The site was gone, dead link, but my browser autofilled a new address, a random .onion string. It opened straight to log 14, more footage. This time, no camera operator, just surveillance angles, different parts of the base, an operating room with what looked like a child-sized figure on the table. Multiple limbs, no face. The doctors had black bags over their heads, literally like executioners. Then one of them looked up at the camera and pointed. Next frame, a message. You are next. The next few days were a blur. Every screen in my house glitched. Lights flickered. I'd wake up at 3:17 a.m. on the dot every night with a high-pitched ringing in my ears. One time, I swear, I saw a figure in my hallway. Pale, watching me, but gone when I blinked. I left my house for a week, stayed with my cousin, didn't go online at all. Thought maybe it was in my head, maybe I imagined it. Until she said, "Hey, why does your laptop say Area 51 access restored?" I never brought my laptop. That night, I went back. One final time. I opened the site again. This time, there was live footage of me sitting in my room. I turned around, nothing, but the video feed kept updating in real time. I wasn't just being watched, I was being studied. The screen flickered, then a final line of text appeared. Project Echo confirmed. Psychological exposure threshold reached. Then, blackout. I don't know what they showed me. I don't know if it was real or some kind of digital virus that latches onto your mind, but I haven't slept normally since. I see things, hear voices, and if you're hearing this, maybe that virus is spreading. Through this story, through this video. Maybe that's the point. Maybe Area 51 doesn't just hide aliens. Maybe it hides whatever I've become. They didn't need to abduct me. I brought it to myself. I clicked it. I should have stopped. Should have never clicked that link. So if you're watching this, do not search for the coordinates. Don't go on the dark web. And whatever you do, if you see a hallway with red lights and hear breathing behind the camera, don't watch the rest of the tape. You ever feel like something's watching you? Not in a paranoid tinfoil hat way. I mean, really watching? I paid $500 for what I thought was a joke, but what they sent me, it had eyes. Hey, so, I wasn't planning to tell this story, like, ever. I didn't even write it down until recently, but the nightmares won't stop, and I need to let it out before it eats me alive. My name's Jay. I'm 24, used to work IT freelance. Mostly back-end stuff, server setups, VPN configs, that kind of thing. But the real thrill? Hacking forums, deep dives. You know, the rabbit holes you're not supposed to go down. I've been on the dark web more times than I can count. I've seen stuff. Trafficking rings, hitmen for hire scams, even live-streamed games that make you sick to your stomach. But I always stayed on the outside, just watch. Until this one time, I didn't. So I'm lurking this old hidden forum, the Obscura Vault. It's a ghost town now, but back then it had active users, verified trades, encrypted chat rooms, sellers with disturbing product menus. And then I found it. Just a thread, a single post, plain black background, white courier font. The offering. It had 3 bullet points, private one-time purchase, real experiences only. And below that, 500, choose your category. Watch. Understand. I scrolled past, twice. But you know how it is when something gets stuck in your head? It was just there, clawing at the back of my thoughts. And eventually, I clicked. The chat auto-encrypted, no usernames, just operator and me. Choose a category. I typed, rituals. They replied, received. Uploading secure BTC address. I hesitated. 100 times I thought, walk away. But I didn't. Something about it felt important. I sent $500 in Bitcoin. The transaction confirmed. Then I got a final message. You will receive a physical delivery. Do not share. Watch alone. That was it. 3 days later it showed up. No knock. Just an envelope slid under my apartment door. It wasn't a padded envelope or some corporate shipping label. No, this was old, faded, yellowing, like it had existed long before I was born. On the front, in typewriter ink, J-A-Y. No last name, no return address. Inside was a black USB drive, wrapped in twine, and a note. Handwritten, plug in, volume up, alone. Against every instinct I had, I did it. The drive had only one file, PROXY-RITUAL.mov. I double-clicked it, static. Then a scene emerged, a stone room, circular, cracks in the walls. Hooded figures, 6 or 7, standing still in the shadows. In the center, something wrapped in burlap, human-sized, moving. A timer appeared, 2300 hours. It began counting down. A chant began, but not in any language I knew. Deep, throaty syllables that scraped against my nerves. One figure stepped forward, pulled out a black mask, blank except for a mouth. Wide, grinning, jagged. They placed it on the wrapped figure. The second it touched skin, the screen glitched, like something crawled through the pixels. And suddenly, my room didn't feel empty anymore. The person on screen began convulsing, screaming, but it wasn't normal. The scream was reversed. like tape being rewound. It made my skin crawl, and then it looked at me. The figure, bound and masked, looked through the screen. I froze. My hands wouldn't move. I tried to Alt-Tab, curl Alt-Delete. Nothing. My webcam light turned on. I don't even have it activated. The figure on screen mimicked my room, my desk, my posture. Then a voice in my headphones, but not from the video. 23 minutes, Jay. Or we come through. I tore the power cord out of the wall. Everything went black. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. I kept hearing sounds, breathing, whispering, coming from the vents, the walls. I smashed the USB with a hammer, but the damage was done. Weird things kept happening. My lights flickered at exactly 3:23 every night. My laptop booted on its own, and I started seeing shadows, shaped like that mask, in my mirror for just a second. Then came the second delivery. Same envelope, same lettering. Inside was a photo of me, asleep, and behind me, a black figure with that mask. I called the cops, told them everything. Well, not everything, just the stalking, the break-in, the photos. They searched the apartment, found nothing. The photo was gone. The USB never existed, apparently. But before leaving, one officer turned to me, a younger guy, pale, and he said, "People who get the offering don't usually call us. They disappear." I never told him the name. That night, I set up cameras. I waited. At 3:23 a.m., they turned to static, and I heard the door unlock. I didn't even own a key that fit the deadbolt, but it clicked open. Something moved down the hallway. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. My skin got cold. My breath fogged, and then I saw it in the mirror. The mask, grinning, black, and behind it, eyes, real, watching. I ran, didn't look back. I stayed at a motel 2 towns over, tried to disappear. But even here, I wake up at 3:23, always and every time. Something is closer. So if you ever see a post on some obscure forum offering an experience, something you can't find anywhere else, don't click, don't reply, don't even think about it, because it's not a service, it's a doorway. Once you pay the price, it doesn't matter if you unplug. They already know your name, they already know where you sleep.